Could Dak Prescott be the next big-named quarterback to swap teams in the NFL? Heading into the 2020 offseason, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones had two primary free agents to retain, his star quarterback and Pro Bowl wideout Amari Cooper. The latter agreed to a whopping 5-year extension worth $100 million, but Prescott's contract negotiations have been far more difficult. Shortly after the Super Bowl, Clarence E. Hill Jr. of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reported that Prescott and the Cowboys were close to reaching a deal in September that would have paid him $33 million annually. However, Dak backed out and decided he wanted more money. Though Prescott doesn't belong in the same class as veteran signal callers like Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, or Russell Wilson, it's easy to see why he's seeking over $30 million annually. The market for quarterbacks is skyrocketing every year. If guys like Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, and Derek Carr can be paid like MVP caliber quarterbacks, Dak should as well. But Jones has never had problems paying up big dollars to his top players. Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence, etc. So it's surprising to see contract negotiations with Dak drag on for over 3 months after the Super Bowl. If Prescott doesn't budge, the cap-strapped Cowboys may have no choice but to find a new signal caller. As good as Prescott is, he's not exactly a top 5 quarterback here. He only has one playoff win in his career, and there are a ton of quarterbacks who can succeed with Zeke, Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup in the league's best offensive line. If the Cowboys were to theoretically shop Dak, who would be the best fit for him? To us, the answer is simple. John Gruden's Las Vegas Raiders. How many other teams are realistic fits? Most QB-needy teams already found quarterbacks in free agency or in the 2020 draft. But Carr is on a short leash in Vegas now. If he can't rebound in 2020, sure, they signed Marcus Mariota in free agency, but come on. If Gruden had the chance to trade for Prescott, you'd have to think he'd do it and keep Mariota as a backup. Just look at the Raiders roster now. This is a team that's set to win in the very near future. If only they had a quarterback who could take them to the next level. Henry Ruggs, Darren Waller, Tyrell Williams, and Josh Jacobs form one of the NFL's most dynamic offensive units, and they're all just entering their primes. The secondary has promise with Damon Arnett and Jonathan Abrams. The pass rush should be a force with Max Crosby, Cleveland Farrell, and Corey Littleton leading the way. Carr is an average quarterback, but he just isn't good enough to take the Raiders to the next level. A 39-55 record with 5 losing seasons speaks for itself. Throw Prescott into the Raiders offense, and you'd have a team that's ready to make noise in the AFC. Suddenly, Las Vegas would be ready to catch Patrick Mahomes and the powerhouse Kansas City Chiefs. Prescott would miss Zeke, sure, but Jacobs would do just as well for him. And number 4 would be an excellent fit in Gruden's heavy vertical passing offense. If Carr can put up decent stats here, Dak should be able to put up MVP-like numbers, plain and simple. The Raiders are moving into a shiny new stadium in Sin City. Adding Prescott could only enhance their marketing, national following, and ticket sales too. Mark Davis has to think about the business side of potentially trading for Prescott. If Jones doesn't want to play Prescott, that's fine. It sounds crazy at first to move on from your Pro Bowl signal caller, but the Cowboys can win with so many other quarterbacks. They can roll with backup Andy Dalton or look for their next quarterback in the 2021 draft. After all, Dalton took a merely average Cincinnati Bengals team to the postseason 5 times. He never had a team as deep and talented as this Cowboys squad. We would totally get Jerry's point of view if he didn't want to pay Dak up. See what Dalton has. If it goes poorly, find your new quarterback in 2021. It's a safe play, and it'll save them a heck of a lot of money. Add it all up, and Dak to the Raiders actually makes a lot of sense in many ways. The price, seeing as how any team trading for Dak would also need to re-sign him to a monster contract, you would have to think that his price tag would be too astronomical. A 2021 first-round pick should do the trick. With this deal, Prescott makes the Raiders an instant Super Bowl contender, while the Cowboys sneakily maneuver their way out of a brutal salary cap situation, accumulate an additional first-round selection, and settle on a cheaper option under center. This, folks, would be the definition of a win-win trade. Do you think the Cowboys should trade Dak Prescott? Join us in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.